Hi, I'm Joe McDonald and this is Big Mac's Battle Blog. Hello, been a minute, hasn't it? So, yeah, I've been really busy the last couple of weeks because we got made Marines and we're the drone platoon of the Marines. Basically, now I'm Special Forces. Woo! Isn't that exciting? You know, all of the fun and all of the privileges of being Special Forces without any of that, like having to carry 100 kilograms across a mountain stuff, you know. So that's nice. And I've also kind of been promoted. I don't know if I'm going to get any stripes or anything, considering I've been here for a year and I still don't have proper army identification because paperwork process slow. Yeah, essentially I command a position now, and that's where we do work with drones and the stuff that we use with drones, you know, the bangy stuff. So that's kind of fun. Right now, we are being shaheeded, so I thought I'd just start to make a video and maybe you guys can hear what that's like, but I don't know if that's going to happen because there was one and then there was another and now there's a bunch of people shooting AKs and stuff outside. I just had a look with my thermal scope and I can't see anything, so no excuse to go blazing away with the FAL out the window, sadly. So yeah, as for the other debacle, right, well, I'm gonna sum up what happened very quickly now. I made a YouTube post, not a video, a post, that used a photo that someone else had taken of a couple of civilian wannabe journalists at a funeral in Kyiv. One of them was acting in a way I didn't like, so I called them cunts, basically. That seemed to set the fucking internet on fire, or at least the Ukraine YouTuber bit of internet, for a couple of days. And I got, you know, messages and phone calls from all kinds of people I've never heard of. You know, people were sending me screenshots of what one of these civilian wannabe journalists had said on Discord, you know. And I also got a message saying that I was going to be arrested and chucked out the army and deported from Ukraine because the older, shorter, fatter one of the civilian wannabe journalists apparently knows my commanders. Well, I showed me commander that and he laughed, you know, and said, who the fuck do these guys think they are, and told me I had nothing to worry about. And I very clearly did have nothing to worry about. Because here's the thing, right? I'm a frontline soldier. I've been a frontline soldier for 18 months in this war. More, in fact. I've nearly died over 100 times. I've helped kill hundreds of Russians. That's a fact. So, if two wannabe fucking civilian journalists who spend most of the money you give them flying back and forth to the fucking States and eating nice meals in fucking restaurants in Kyiv, you know, and then going to within 5 or 10 kilometres of the actual zero line and saying at the zero line and taking up so loads of soldiers' time so they can give smile number 5, while they're all like, yay, you know, next to them, right? You know, want to know what soldiers think of the so-called important Ukraine-focused YouTuber crowd? We don't give a fuck about them. And having to fucking stand around and host them and do photos and take up time just so they can give us some drones or a vehicle is a pain in the arse. Ukraine is full of grifters. Absolutely full of grifters. Now, you could investigate me thoroughly, and I invite the Ukrainian financial police too. Go on, do, please. I'm looking forward to the Service to Ukraine medal I'll get afterwards, because I've put like 70% of my wages into Ukraine over the last year and put like about 130 $30,000 worth of equipment into the hands of my unit, either through donations, my wages, or engaging with charities, NGOs, and private donators. So I am literally unimpeachable. I have nothing to hide. But if you've raised $1 million, but you've spent 200 grand flying back and forth from the States, then I think you should be investigated by the financial police. I think that you should be investigated by the Department of Justice back in the States, or if you're French or English, whatever the equivalent is there. I think a lot of these Ukraine celebrities are grifters, and they're just using Ukraine as an opportunity to make themselves famous and to embezzle money, basically. That's what I think. And if I'm wrong, you can call me a cunt, you know. But none of this is because I've got PTSD. None of this is because I've got a fucking TB. I'm recovering from a TBI. And it certainly isn't because I've been drunk, because I haven't had a fucking beer in like a couple of months now. It's because me and all the guys who are actually here on the front line are absolutely sick to death of having to kiss the arses of these fucking people. We're sick of it, right? They're a pain in the arse, all of them. Like, engaging with charities in Ukraine is a bit like, you know, they start off being kind of useful and it ends up like you're working for them. They want to be so bloody important, where really what they should just be doing is sticking the stuff in a box to Nova Poster and getting it to us. And if we have the time to take a little photo to say thanks, then great. But we're the ones there doing the job. We're the important ones. People who spend all the time talking about what other people have said online in Kyiv are as noble and as important as an influencer who sits in a computer chair talking about how other people are playing computer games on the internet. They're not important. No one cares about them, and they shouldn't. So anyway, yeah. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to go to the new position that I'm in charge of, and I'm going to take apart about 20 RPGs and take the booster unit out the back, and then extract the primer, and then detach the two parts of the primer from each other so we have an instant primer that we can use for our drone munitions. It's one of the most dangerous things you can do. I do stuff like that day in, day out in Ukraine, okay? So, that's the last I'm going to be talking about these people, right? Because they're not important. And, yeah, I am. And so's Harley. And so's Brandon. And so Sivdiv, I suppose, although I've never really spoke to the bloke. But, yeah, we're the only guys in Ukraine who aren't Ukrainians who've got anything meaningful to say. Everyone else is just talking shit. Anyway, it's goodbye from me, Joe McDonald, an actual fucking soldier at Big Mac's Battle Blog. And as always, to our Russian and Vatnik lifters and the civilian YouTuber, Instagram grifter crowd, Idi Nahoy Zalupa.